We are going to talk about a very interesting topic. How do you become an online coach, and a very successful one at that? So it's going to be me today who will walk you through the entire process, steps, and show you how some of the academies on our platform are able to go from zero to over $10,000, a few lakh rupees, in just a few weeks of their launch. My idea for today's session was that I speak to a lot of people who come to us, who call us from around the country, in fact, even other parts of the world, and ask us what are the secrets, what are the steps, how do you walk through the entire platform journey step by step and go beyond what's built on the platform to build a successful business. So what my try today is going to be is to share all these secrets, show you what are the steps that you could take. And without wasting any time, let me just share my screen now, and let me show you how the steps are divided. So what I'll do now is I will share a mind map that we have built, which talks about our 5-step framework. So what this 5-step framework is basically it tells you to take these 5 steps in the order of preference that we have mentioned here. The first one, and let me tell you that what our goal here is to talk to people who have started an academy, also at the same time talk to people who are just planning to launch an online business. So some of the content that you will see and hear about is going to be pertinent to both types of those content creators. So if you are just starting out, one of the most important things that you have to take care of is to identify your niche and target audience. Now, this one could actually be the most important step, because a lot of time, what people end up doing is they pick a domain based on what is hot. So a lot of people would hear something like, Bitcoin's doing really well. There are digital companies that are doing fantastic. So how about we just launch a content space webinar academy or an academy that teaches people how to invest in Bitcoins, and they don't have the passion for the domain. They don't have the expertise, the knowledge, and the excitement, the energy that you should bring out when you're actually building an academy and talking to people about your niche does not come out. So my recommendation, the first one here, is treat it as a passion project. Do not go for a niche or a domain where you don't have enough interest or you don't have enough ability. So 3 fundamental factors that we recommend are these: look for domain expertise, knowledge, and it should be unique. It's important that you build an offering that's differentiated. There is a traditional word that people use in business, and it's called USP. So unique selling point. Do you have a unique selling point in the academy, in the content space that you're building your academy in? Most of these successful academies on our platform do follow through on these 3 points, and they have all made sure that they are following a niche that they can talk about, they can build a legacy or a leadership position in. The second step that you have to then do is launch your site. I will not spend too much time here now. I will just jump right on to showing you a couple of examples and then come back to this model in steps again. So what I'll do is I will now quickly just show you again some of the academies built on our platform and let you look at the excellence that people achieved in building these pages, in building the academies. So let me just bring up my screen again here. Okay, you should be able to see my screen right now. Okay, so this one actually looks like I've shared just the tab. Let me just share the entire screen here. Okay, so this shares my screen and shows you what I'm. Cool. Now, what I'll do, the first academy that I want to share with you, let me go with SBY Academy. This is a fantastic academy. Yukti Kapoor Mehendi Ratta runs this academy, and she was with us on a webinar last week. Now, if you look at the academy, they have built a fantastic academy in the space of leadership. And there are multiple courses that you'll come across on the platform. If you look at the structure of the site, it shows quite effectively right on the first glance what are the kind of programs that they teach. So you look at something like leadership, masterclass on how to plan your path to success, a lot of stuff around leadership. Now, this also gives you an insight into a bit of the brand's legacy. Now, brand's legacy, where what are the kind of institutions, people that they work with, some of the testimonials. This is an excellent idea to utilize. In fact, videos work superb. So there are videos on the site also that show the kind of people that have attended the programs and the kind of appreciation they have shown. Now, from me to you here, what Yukti has done is they have also built a blog. That's another key that I would like to show or highlight here, is that blogs can bring a lot of users to your platform, and it can help you convert a lot of learners, so to say. So spend a lot of time on content, and this is one site that you should definitely check out. Now, the other one I would like to show you, and let me just kind of take you to Champ Excel. So Champ Excel is an academy that teaches skills around Excel training. Now, you can learn about power pivots. There are courses in Hindi language. How do you do financial ERP trial balances, spend analysis? So a lot of stuff, a lot of excellent content in the space of Excel. And again, look at the way the video has been used to sell the idea. Now, this is most of the programs are done by Mr. Vijay Agarwal, who's a chartered accountant himself, comes with tons of experience. And there are free sessions as well that they conduct. So look at the page structure. And when you're learning how to build pages, one of the key there would also be you should look at how course pages are built. So this is quite an extensive website. When you go on to masterclass on power pivots, look at why and how their course is sellable. So the content kind of gets listed here. They talk about salient features of the program, and a lot of sales kind of happen through their website because these are very unique. So remember the point that I mentioned to you about being unique. I'll show you another academy before I jump into showing you how they're built. So of course, everybody knows the master chef, Sanjeev Kapoor. This is an academy that basically sells courses by him. And there are some fantastic courses. Again, if you look at the page structure of these courses, they have been built following a certain flow to them. The flow has been decided based on age-old formulas. Again, we use videos. We do a lot of background information on who Sanjeev Kapoor is, what do you get out of the course. So all of that's followed here quite extensively. Now, what I want to do is jump on the first step of the mind map, which I showed you, which is about building the site. So Knorish, what happens is, the first thing you can do is you can pick a template, and these templates are available to you right after you sign up. And there are some amazing templates that the teams here have put in their heart and soul into. They've benchmarked some of the best websites on the internet and found templates that actually would get you to sell right on day one. One of my favorite template here is Inner Self. I absolutely love this. If you look at the structure of the page, it has some of the elements that everybody uses, like it's going to talk a little bit about the background, the blog. If you go on to the course page template on this site, it tells you that give a little bit about the course, put a video, show some highlights, some clients, about yourself, testimonials. So all you've got to do when you're building your academy and you're building your first page is follow the structure of the template as is, because that's going to help you achieve the results that you desire, because it's well structured. And don't worry about how this is going to look on mobile devices, where almost 70% of your audience is, because they are all responsive by nature. So once you've installed the template, the next step for us is now going to be just go on to the install template. Now, what you see in front of you is one demo site that I'm going to use today for this session. So here what you see is an install template with certain pieces of structure already falling into place. So you have a few course examples here, some testimonials. Once you have a template like this, all you need to do is go from the dashboard, which you'll see right now. So you land on a dashboard like this. You could start editing your website. So you could go from by clicking the button here, or you could go by clicking here, and then just start editing the page that you've got just by installing the template. So when I click on the edit, the entire interface becomes editable for me. And I'm doing this live in front of you. So what will happen now is after I click edit, you start seeing these blocks on the right, as well as the entire interface is now editable. So instead of cooking specials, let's say learn to make salads. I'm just imagining that this is going to be a culinary academy. And then I can customize all information. I wanted to change this image. What I can do is just click here. And it's all very intuitive, because what you're seeing in terms of the symbols, the icons here is what it is. I mean, if it shows you an image of a camera, try and click on it. It'll let you change the image. You want to change the sample diet or change the entire block, use this delete button. You could get rid of it. It'll ask you, do you want to delete this? Now, if I thought that interesting, but I wanted to show something else here, so just kind of drag and drop a piece from the right on the screen, and it comes right in front of you like this. You could just edit the content and say here, dishes that I love, right? Change the content, change the image, and you're ready to kind of go. Your page could be finally edited. So this is usually the first step. I mean, creating a website or a web page is what people start with, because most of our content creators are trying to create a good web presence. So once you've taken these steps, you can then head to the other parts of the dashboard. However, just to give you quite like a quick introduction to what else is there, we also have tons of sections. So when you, like this one, if you wanted to use a video or a double block styled top section, you could use this. Like I quite like the video section. So if you see, this is a video section that gets inserted here. And by clicking on the setting button here, I can take this video block to the top of the page. So now you see that I've kind of taken this to the top. I can change the container width, whatever I want. I mean, you should play with these. Don't worry much about that you're going to break things. Play with these options. It's quite easy and intuitive. Apart from the blocks, you have options on the left which also give you highlighting, kind of image setting, color changes, links, a lot of stuff. You should probably give them a try. Our help desk would also teach you, which I'll address later. So I am assuming that you would have understood by now that it's quite easy. And the best way to build a website, in our experience, is do not mess too much with the template, because it's been built after a lot of thought has gone into what are the best structures of the websites, what are the best websites, best performing landing pages in the world, how do they work. So don't mess with it too much. Change the videos, change the images, change the block text, and go with it. Now I'll move to the next step, which is basically the essence of your entire academy. So how do you create your first course? By the way, this list here, so these blocks that you look at are cues to what you should be doing when you start your academy. So the first one says, create your first course. The second, build your website, personalize your domain. So let's say I built the website. This is for me to remember that, okay, I've done this step. I've kind of completed this. Now, creating your first course. So I'll start with this bit here. I click on create your course, and this kind of brings me to this block here where I have multiple options. So what I want to do is I don't want to edit one of the courses here. You see there are 4 beautiful courses here. I will click on new course and name it as Learn Baking. So I created the course. Now it takes me to the section. Not many options here really. So our idea was make it simple. You just add a section, give it a good name. So let's say baking fundamentals. By the way, I don't know baking. I can't cook much at all. Just fancy creating this course for now. So baking fundamentals, don't know what to write here. Maybe let's say, ingredients. Pardon me for the wrong curriculum format here. Yeah, let's just go with it for now. So here, once you've created a chapter, you can upload a video file. So just click on this. It's going to throw your computer screen in front of you. Now you could upload a video that you wanted, and I'll show you how it looks on in one of the other courses. You can upload a PDF file here. Now we use PDFs and recommend PDFs here as the main course content. So this top section here is the main course content. We recommend PDF because it does not break on mobile devices or any devices that are commonly used around the world. So whether it's an iPhone, a tablet, an Android tablet, or a phone, whatever it is, it's an old device, a new device, it doesn't break. So use that. You could also bring YouTube videos or Vimeo or Prezi files here. Now, to do that, all you need to do is just paste the embed code. And once you do that, the video content will just show up here. You could build an assessment, and I will show you just quickly how that is done. This is simply a matter of clicking this button. But before that, the last option here is live event. So you could click on this option and create a live event. Let me show you the assessment bit. How does this work? So assessment is again super simple. You just have to type in your option. So I'll say baking fundamentals, and I can add subjective, objective questions if I've added which is a baking tray. So let's say a basic question like that. And now I can add an option. So I can attach images, videos, and tell the platform that this is the right option, right? So let's say I'd added two options. And I want to tell the system that, okay, this is the right option. I can just do that. I can type in a hint for my attendees to get ideas about what am I trying to ask them. And I can decide on how many marks do I want for this question. We can decide here how many passing marks. Do you want the duration to be a certain time or a very long duration? You don't want to be too much bothered about them finishing the assignment in a certain amount of time. So you could do that. You could also do subjective questions. However, you have to keep in mind that subjective questions are very resource intensive because you'll need people who can then evaluate them manually. Whereas if you were using objective, all people need to do is basically just put the question mark, put the tick mark here telling that this is the right answer. And then your attendees are going to get that automatically. So they will be marked automatically by the system. So you could very well have 10,000 people taking these assessments. They could all be assessed automatically. So very few people actually go for subjective ones, but you could decide to do that. And if you do, you'll have to decide max for it and, just kind of write a hint if you want. And this is all drag and drop interface here. So I can just reassign and do whatever I want. So I could say save and close. Oh, so I should, I've given passing max as 0. So the system's got inbuilt intelligence on, what are the passing marks that you want to give. So I've just said, okay, this is 2 questions. I've given 2 max to it. So this chapter 1 is now set with an assessment. I want to edit the assessment. I can edit it here. And by the way, if you wanted to give them, let's say, an exercise file, a PPT, Excel, Docs, Zip, whatever, just attach it here. You could attach the downloadable file by clicking here, and they will get access to this downloadable file. And let me now try and add another lecture. Now, I have decided that I will come live on one evening, and I'm going to show people how do they cook in front of the camera, or I'll be doing it live with them. Maybe I'll go live on YouTube. So when I click on create live event here, at the moment this option lets you do a YouTube live stream, or it lets you upload a video file which will then play at a specific time, looking like it's a live session. So it's called a recorded live session here. And you can select the start time, the end time. Once you save and put the YouTube embed code and the video file, you will also get option here to send them reminder messages, and you can customize them. So you can customize the message to go just 10 minutes before the session, or 15 minutes, or 30 minutes before the session, so that people don't miss this, right? And when that happens, you could be chatting live with people through this dashboard. Now, at the moment, obviously, there's no live event, so you don't see that, but you could be talking to people within the environment of your own academy, and you'll do all that from here. You'll also see how many people are in the course, how many have joined. So all of that information is going to be available to you. I'll jump back on the curriculum page. So this is the course page, by the way. So I jump back on editing the program again, and here I can also use functionalities like drip. Drip is a fantastic functionality. I've seen, for instance, SBY Academy using it really well. So what it lets you do is you can program certain chapters, certain sections of your of your course to go live at a certain date. You could say that suppose somebody registers on, let's say, 2nd of the month. So every single day, release this. Or let's say, on if you have an ongoing course, you say that, okay, I want every 20th February one lecture to be released. So you could program it in multiple ways. The email subject line and the body is pre-filled for you here. The idea is to give you a starter template. You could edit it completely, like you could change this just by typing that, this has been unlocked for your learning. So you could adapt the language, you could adapt the content here, whatever you want to use. It's all, you could adapt the design. In fact, you could even go to the code level, paste a good, nice design from other platforms like MailChimp and paste it here so that your email looks the way you want. I mean, you could even custom code if you're good with codes yourself. So that's also quite a possibility. Otherwise, our basic templates are good to go. Now, before you send it, before you program it, you could send one to yourself, right? So I could just send it to test mail or wherever I wanted. And when I click on send test mail, it sends a test mail of how this mail is going to look. So this is a quick overview of how the content creation, the course builder looks. And I would say that you should give it a try. I mean, doesn't matter how many chapters or sections you build, the platform gives you unlimited options. There's no video bandwidth, upload, or any kind of limit put in here. You could also preview while you're doing it. How does the course look? So I'll go to the settings now. Once you've done creating the chapter, you've completed those bits, you could change the image of the course. So you could just pick an image from your computer. Like it looks like I have an image on my system. So I can just choose the part of this image and crop it here and say, I want to showcase this much here. This is the name of the program. There are other options here, like don't forget to put a pricing for the course in case you are selling it for a certain price. Put the price in INR, put the price in US dollar, because it's going to show differently to people logging on from different parts of the world. So everybody coming from outside India to buy your program are going to see the US dollar price. And you could keep it different in the pricing. So you could say that, okay, this is 1,000 rupee course. However, when people from outside India look at it, I want it to be a $20 program, right? So you could make your own adjustments there, make it visible, build categories. You can even expire the course in a certain number of days. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying, okay, after somebody gets the access, so get the course to expire in 30 days. And now this course is set to expire then. I can enable a certificate here. I want people to directly play the course after they've checked out, do that. I want the chat to be visible on the course. I can, otherwise remove it. And now the other key is, so what the page you built was a website landing page, right? Now you need a course landing page. So course landing page is the key page. That is the part of your basic funnel. When somebody will see the advertisement or on your Facebook that, okay, this is the page that this author has published about baking, they click and they come to that page, and they should be able to then click on enroll now on that page to buy. So what this gives you, multiple options. It lets you visualize how the pages are. And all of these come from a theme. So we have multiple themes. Like I showed you, you could pick templates. Those are called themes. I'm going to pick this one for this course. I'll say create a course page. And here is my page that's created. What I need to now do is, again, you've seen how the pages get edited. So I can change the title here. I'll say this course is Learn Baking. So that's the name of the course. I can change the fee because I mentioned $20. So I can do that. And you can type your own information here. You could show that, okay, this is supposed to be, let's say 100, but I'm selling it for 20 now. This step that I'm showing you now is the key. So click on edit link, go to select link type. You have to make a connection to a checkout page because you want people to, now I haven't published that course, so I won't see that here, but the published course is weight management. Let's see. So similarly, when you publish this Learn Baking course, you're going to see that item here, and all you have to do is select it, click on OK. So when somebody comes to this landing page, they'll be able to check out through that button, enroll now button, because your page will be linked. But you can look at everything else. So the curriculum that I built is actually being shown here. So I just made two section components, and I see them here. I can change any part of the course, like you saw on the homepage editor. That's super simple. Once I have completed this, I click on save, and my page is basically ready to go live now. I mean, it's kind of there, and I can preview how this looks because I'm in the code section right now. So what I'll go is I'll jump onto the dashboard again, come back to this course page. In courses, now if there is any other information in Learn Baking that I need to edit, I will edit it. And then I can just quickly go to settings and say, looks like I'm ready to publish it. I've got my landing page and everything set. I can publish this course. And before that, it tells you to do certain other thing. It says, do update your site menu bar design, logos and favicon from the site settings. You could do that, like head on to the site setting from here, or just publish the course for now. So I've kind of published the course right now. It's available for anyone to see. What I, however, try and do is maybe show you another course that's better prepared than what I was doing, because I'm just trying to show you pieces of programs. Now, this is a course with some content. When I'm previewing it, this is how it looks like to the learners. So here the learners see things like PDF is here. I mean, you can actually, there's only one page in this PDF. I can go to another page, so it has another PDF here. You can also embed videos or other pieces of content here. Now there is also an assessment. It looks like it has got some questions, and I can start the assessment and which of these methods are correct for weight management. So I'm just going to say jogging, submit it. So learners, when they complete all these steps, they basically get to go, when they go to overview, they can see if they're qualified to download the certificate, and they can download the certificate. So if you look here, it has also got a chat section. Now people are asking and talking to each other. Like here somebody is asking, am I allergic to nuts? Are there any other replacements? And then people are answering his questions, and he could reply to them. So this is kind of a forum where people talk to each other. And on the dashboard, so when I show you, the learner goes to, I'm sorry, I just went on to the publisher dashboard. The learner dashboard is this, where they see the environment like this. So if you see the look and feel of this, our idea while building this part of the platform was that your users, people who buy courses from you, should be able to feel when they look at this environment, okay, it's a familiar Netflix, Amazon Prime kind of an environment where the look and feel invites them to click on content that they've already got access to. So you could, by the way, change this spotlight section from your dashboard as well. And before I go back to show you more options of what you can do for your learners as a content creator, I'll just quickly show you that your learners on day one, just in this much time, so we just spent about 20 odd minutes on building this, they have access to profile section, the wish list section, orders, if they bought anything. So all of this comes right out of the box for them, is available to them after you published a course and after they've swiped their card to buy a course or even attended a free course. So now I'll jump onto the publisher dashboard back again. And in the publisher dashboard, there are multiple other functionalities. For an instance here, you could create categories. Now you'll see some academies kind of become quite large, like Thai Institute uses Knorish. And when you go to thaiinstitute.in, you see multiple courses and webinars. So you see that they have tons of content, right? And in all of the content is structured on a library page. So this is our default library page that everybody gets. Now here they have a filter which says, okay, filter between webinar and courses. So these are kind of categories, tags that you could call, which are filtering the courses for you. So in the course tag or category, I've got close to 7 programs that I could buy. Seems like there's a free one as well. So you could also take that. And if I was interested in watching webinars, I click on webinars and there are more. There are multiple pages actually here. Or I could look for something that I wanted to look at, search for it. So that's also possible. And when you search for it, I mean, the content kind of is seen in front of you, and you can kind of attend that program. So categories become important once your content is quite huge. Content library is large. So this gives you an ability to create those categories. And then within the course, you could attach courses to categories. So when you saw the category button within the course, you could attach them there. Now, library settings, the library that you just saw on Ty's page, also has multiple possibility. Here there are possibilities to choose a certain type of a card design. Like there are 2 types of card designs. You want to display a search box, you want a filter, you want a reader level filter. So whatever you want people to be able to see, you can specify here. And this also lets you preview the library. So if I was trying to show you the library, this is how it's going to look, because these are the only 2 published courses on the platform right now. So people can reset, filter. I can remove these boxes, the options, and I can also change how many courses people can see. So that's all available in the library settings. Users dashboard will, now obviously this is an academy where we've only got some demo users buying programs. You can see date-wise how people are attending the programs, right? I mean, how the students are behaving. Like this student named John Smith has bought the weight management course. It lets you see also when the order was placed. So this was a ₹0 order, as in this is a free course. And he's watched it 50%. He's not completed the assessment. So all of that kind of comes in front of you. And all the user management, I could also delete the user. So this tells me, do you want to delete the user? So just type the name again and do that. And this shows me a couple of other things about him. He's not provided many details. Now, when I click on reset here, it tells me that you had given him certain number of attempts to complete the assessment. Do you want him to get more assessment attempts? Then you could do that from here. So I will jump on to analytics here. So we have a few types of analytics where, user engagement analytics tells you about how overall people are behaving. So there are 3 engaged users on the platform. You saw there were about 6 in total, or total 14, actually this shows me here. But I've got 3 who are actually engaged in the programs. And it shows that John Smith has completed this. So there was no requirement to complete the course 100%. So by the way, there are 2 John Smiths here. So this Mr. John Smith second has completed the course 100%. And you could filter this data by date range. You could watch this or analyze this data on a specific course itself. You could also see how many people have downloaded the certificate. And here is another key insight here. A lot of people, like SPY Academy, uses this feature to send their learners information about their next course after they download the certificate, which is a key point, right? You know that people are engaged. Send them the information to attend or buy another course for a coupon price or a discounted price. And you could get sales up by doing that. And this platform kind of shows you how many people had downloaded the certificate. So this user engagement data gives you that kind of information. There is traffic analysis as well that becomes interestingly useful at certain points of time. So this kind of gives you how many people use devices that are mobile devices or laptops, and how that information stacks up date-wise. How many people are identified active users? Are there people consuming your free content? You don't see too much data here because, again, as I mentioned, this is just a test demo platform. Some of this information could be really useful. Like if you were to see that, you know what, almost 100% of my users are on mobile devices. So when you build your PDF files, when you build your videos and put text on those videos, you're going to be super careful about the content shouldn't be too large. It shouldn't be blowing up out of proportion because your people are looking at it from small devices. So fonts become really important at that point of time. Now I jump onto transactions here. The earning dashboard basically tells you how much have you earned. So you could filter the data based on dates. You could look at people, there are, if you wanted GST compliance, if you are in India, there is the specific type of tax called GST. So you could download the entire report for a certain number of entries and then use it for your compliance. So won't spend too much time on this dashboard. Payouts would let you do automatic payouts. So we currently offer this service in India. If you are using the Knorish payment service, you could just set up your bank account and add all the information here. Tell the platform that, okay, as soon as my income is more than 5,000 rupees, just transfer the amount to my account. So all of that's possible here. In GST, you can download your GST invoices for the charges for your SaaS plan. And in case you want to generate GST invoices for your courses, you could add GST information in the organization settings here. And then it tells you that, okay, there are certain other settings here as well, but this and lets you enable GST invoice receipt for your courses, and we have a state-of-the-art GST compliance module here, which automatically looks at which state are you in, which state is your student in. And based on that, based on the government regulations around GST, we then apply a certain type of a GST tax, which could be CGST and SGST, or it could be IGST in case your learners are coming from another state. In case they are coming from outside India, there is a specific type of rule in India that it could be export of your services. So you could customize and change all of that. And in in other settings bit, if you I've just jumped to buttons here, you could enforce things like display phone numbers. So on the sign up form, you want people to fill a phone number and you enable that. You wanted to change your background image on the account pages, you could do that. I will not go into plan and billing much, but there is tons more in website builder. So I just spend the next 10 minutes on it before I start taking a few questions. Pages, this is an interesting module because here all of the pages are available in front of you, whether it's the main home page for your website, or like this is the home page. So this has this H button in front of it, or other pages. Now, Learn Baking is the page that we just built, right? And it's a course page. So if you look at it here, it's a course page. It tells me that I could change the slug. I could optimize the page for SEO. Important key step, because you want your course to be searchable on the internet, right? So do this right. And SEO comes with certain requirements. And we have built a platform that follows through or competes with the best in class, let's say even a WordPress-based environment. What the WordPress environment lets you optimize SEO through, we have all of those features and more available on Knorish. So you could put all of those pieces for SEO here, the description, the keywords, the header code if you wanted. Maybe you're using something like a WhatsApp messenger on the front page, and some of the sites do that. In fact, there's quite a lot of variety of how people kind of do it. For an instance, there's this one academy on the platform called Enrichment Academy, right? Or there is Sanjeev Kapoor Academy using this button here for chat, which is a fresh desk chat. So you could integrate tons of these through integrations as well as through front-end code. Like if you look at WhatsApp on Enrichment Academy, now it lets me just quickly talk to their customer service executives through a WhatsApp channel. So all of this becomes possible because there are pages and features available here that let you embed custom footer, header code, and these could also be tracking codes. And you could, you could kind of use features which will let you apply these across the platform. Now, another interesting feature, there are tons of those, but one thing that I would like to highlight here is when I disable this option, display top menu on page, what it lets me do is it lets me build a landing page. So let me quickly touch on this. A landing page is basically a page where you don't see the top menu. So like on this page, you see the top menu right now. The purpose of removing this menu is that when you're running ads, you want only one call to action, one single possible step that your visitors of the page could take. And to be able to do that, you basically just remove the header from your site, and that just leaves people to now enroll. So you'll have only one main button on your page. Usually people do that on their course pages. So this removing this display top menu on page will enable you to just convert the page into a landing page. Now there are tons of features available on blog posts. So blogs not enabled on this site, you could enable it. Menu manager now lets you rearrange your menu. How do you want your pages to look like? Suppose blog should come first, or let's say about should come last. So super simple. You just have to kind of hold it, drag down. You want to delete it, just delete it from here. I don't want about to be shown on my page and it's gone. So that's how simple it is. And I can look at from a preview section, how does it look now? So all of that's possible from here. In site settings, there are multiple other features, like you want different types of logos to be available on your platform. So here it has multiple options. We tell them upload a different type of a logo on the emailers, user dashboard, on your main website. So all of that's here. You can now also decide what kind of a menu design you want. You want a fixed transparent menu, a fixed solid menu. So experiment with these. You could just preview them, change the menu background color from here. And how do you want the cart menu to be displayed on the top menu bar or not? So all of that basically comes here, and you could edit these options. Now, file manager is another interesting domain where a lot of people want to do high value content as a piece of content that attracts people to come to their site, or maybe they want to just upload files and build references to those. So you could upload any type of file from here, and it lets you copy the URL of that file, which you could put on your pages or utilize it in distribution through your mails. Up to you how you want to use that. Themes, as I showed you earlier, you could preview themes here, and it tells you which is the active theme. So let's just look at the theme availability here. You'll see multiple themes, and this right and right group theme is what's active on the platform. So this is basically the theme that the platform uses at the moment. Custom code lets you embed or code yourself if you wanted, like a specific CSS or a certain type of code to be embedded here on the platform. For body end, I mean, there are trackers, there are external third-party tools that would need integrations through external body end code or header codes. You could do all of that here. These are advanced features. Most of the users are not going to need this. They're all there. If you do get to that advanced level, I mean, you could start playing with all of that. Now here, I have already shown you organization where you can change details. Contact messages has an inbuilt feature where if people are sending messages through your website, you're going to see them in notifications, and you can edit or read some of those from the platform here. Now, email pipeline would let you look at what are the emails in the pipeline. Integrations is key. So you wanted to white label your domain. Like if you see on Thai Institute, the name is thaiinstitute.in. In Sanjeev Kapoor's case, it's Sanjeev Kapoor Academy. So if you wanted to make changes like those, you create a custom domain integration through Cloudflare, which is our partner. So they don't charge you anything. If you had to go to them directly, you'll be paying tons of money. All you need to do here is just add your domain name, create a email password, and this platform will then show you some of the steps, which are super 5-minute steps that you'll have to go and put on your domain manager. So if you bought it from GoDaddy, you go there. If you bought it from Big Rock or another domain provider, go there and change those settings. There are multiple settings available here. If you were not using Knorish integrated payment service, integrator PayPal, Stripe, Razorpay gateway, you could do Freshdesk ticket management, Facebook Pixel, you could do a Google Tag Manager, Analytics, MailChimp, and there are a lot more coming. Apart from the code level integrations, there are a lot of native integrations that are coming on the platform. One of the other things that you could do is you could look at multiple templates that our platform enables out of the box. Like if somebody has forgotten their email, the platform sends them a mail, and like forgot password email. So the templates for those are preset. But if you wanted you wanted to personalize them or change or edit them in any way, you could use this feature, which lets you reset the template. And again, like the other bit on the platform, the bit that I showed you on the drip feature, you could change the entire look and feel of this at a code level if you were an advanced user. And you could even use some of these code snippets like organization logo, name, target URL, so stuff like that. And then you could send a sample, to your organization listed mail ID as a test. You do all of that. Now, URL redirect is another advanced feature that you could look at, that lets you save the SEO for an old, already built site. You could paste all that here. Won't go too much into the detail of this. I'll just jump on to identity and access. So identity and access, I think this is a great feature. It looks like I don't have access to more identity access users, so I'll have to possibly just use one of these in this plan that we are running. So this lets me pick one of the users that I've added, make them an instructor for a certain course, give them publish rights, editing rights. I could only bring accountants for my platform with read-only access. And this is an interesting feature. Once you have started expanding your education enterprise empire, once you've started building more and more courses and you're monetizing well and you have more people in your team, use this feature. In the professional plan, which is actually the plan of this academy, you only get 5 extra users. However, on our power plan, you can get up to 50. So that's all an added advantage. I have not been able to cover every single feature. So what I'll do now is from this button here, and I'll show that again to you, this red button here, or from here, you could go to help. And on the help section, you see certain videos. Like if you're trying to build a page, it teaches you how do you quickly 3-step guide to how do you quickly build your academy. How do you create a course? So the stuff that I just spoke about, there are videos about all that and more. And we have an extensive knowledge base, which is basically linked to this here. You could also reach that from our homepage directly. So once you are on knowledge base, it lets you filter through or look at categories of programs and jump into quick questions. For an instance, I didn't talk much about certificate customization. So when you type the word certificate, it gives you suggestions. Are you looking to create custom course certificates? So when you do that, when you click on that, it shows you an extensive tutorial or a guide page on how do you build custom certificates. So I didn't kind of run through this feature. There's tons more on the platform, but it tells you all of that. So it has an extensive guide on that. And you could ask this knowledge base this question or more. And the best part, if you're still stuck, from weekdays 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., you could call this number and press 2. You get to our support line, and believe me, our support staff and our people in the support team are some of the best support managers that we have come across, and they're really eager to help you out on any of this. So this has been a quick overview. I'm sure I've missed a ton. I've not been able to show you everything. We have limited time for this. And we look forward to onboard more of you, enable more of entrepreneurs and teachers and experts who are ready to monetize their knowledge online. So thank you so much for joining us